Show up. Feel free to ask questions.
Mm, First of all, I want to ask you, what do you think of the electability of Connor Lamb?
I think he's fine, but we can certainly find better than that.
So I want to begin with my view on this. In fact, I think that though despite traditionally people tend to think moderate or conservative Democrat candidates are more electable, more possible to win. But I think in some of states there are a strong tradition of populism. So, in fact, in those states, candidates like Bernie Sanders are more perform better and have higher possibility to win. And I think some of the most typical populist states are the Rust Belt states like Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Ohio. Wisconsin, which we already know that it has a tradition of of electing progressive senators such as Russ Feingold and Tammy Baldwin. And Pennsylvania, despite it has not elected a progressive senator yet, because in recent years only Bob Casey is elected as its senator. In this state, it has a clear pattern that the progressive House candidates perform better than their moderate counterpart. As I'm showing here, on average, the progressive Medicare for All supporter perform 4.82% better than Joe Biden in their districts in 2020, while those moderate who do not support Medicare for all perform 2.26% worse than Biden in their districts. And some may say, oh, it's because Medicare for all supporters are in blue districts that the Republican Party just gave up on those districts. Is it right? Not, no,
Not
it is
exactly.
not right because in Pennsylvania, of the 6 representatives in safe blue districts, only 1/3 of them to support Medicare for all, while for 3 swing district representatives, 2 of them, so it's 2/3 of them support Medicare for all. So it's very interesting that in Pennsylvania, in fact, more representatives in swing districts are progressive than their counterpart in deep blue districts. And they, on average, perform a lot better than their moderate counterparts. And specifically for Conor Lamb, we can see he also underperformed Biden, though by a 0.5% margin,
Hello?
less than
Hey,
others.
it's he's joined. All right, good. American predictions is right here. You can just like add us to your channel or something.
Okay.
Just going over this channel and yeah.
Okay.
But can I continue? And at the same time, someone may say, "Oh, Conor Lamb is in a district that is trending blue in recent years, and down ballot always lag in realignment." However, I do not buy this message. Why? Because his district, in fact, is ancestral ancestral democratic. In fact, in my bookmark, I have marked that as Drew Savicki noted, his district in its lordship voted for both Gore and Kerry in 2000 and 2000 plus 4. Those 2004, those 2 years it both voted Democrat. It only became red in Obama era, so it is not ancestral Republican. And at the same time, in his district, there is a progressive state house representative who overperformed him. That representative is Sarah Inamorato. He represents State House District 21, which of which two-thirds of population also lives in Conor Lamb's congressional district. And that overlapping area is like this. We can
Right.
see that overlapping area we can see in 2012. It barely voted them, right? But it grew bluer and bluer in a speed that is about 5% per presidential election. So it fits the idea of blue trending suburban district, right? But despite Conor Lamb also underperformed Biden in that part, Sarah Innamorato, as a member of Democratic Socialist America, overperformed Biden by 4.6%, which shows that Democrats do not doom to underperform in that blue trending suburban area. Even and especially even a progressive democratic socialist American member can also overperform Biden by a lot in his district. So the one reason why Lamb underperformed is not because of other reason, but because he is just a weak candidate.
All right. Thank you for your hot take. We can go into this in another video, and thank you for being here, Flip.
Thank you.
All right, AP, I want to introduce yourself to here.
Hi, I'm AP. I own the channel American Predictions, and yeah.
All right, so right now I've got a RDP. Wait, we got him. All right, all right, there you go. Just gonna answer this. The first question. Hold on. Just gotta You can unmute your mic, by the way.
Hello. Sorry, my computer is.
Yeah, I get that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay.
All right, to answer this question, yes, I'm able to answer the questions live. And
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
yeah, so to just get to this right here, I've literally never made anything, and people just sub to me. Not much of a silly of a take, but I actually would agree.
Yeah, the Purple Political Party, and he'll win. He'll run the Purple Political Party.
I actually I actually agree with that. I think that Biden will hold on as long as he just doesn't tank. But if he does, that's it.
If
Yeah,
I could,
it all
though, can we
depends on his
discuss...
approval rating.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Wait, hold on. What were you gonna say?
Oh yeah. I was gonna discuss the progressive is more electable theory here. So Could you bring up that list again of the Medicare for All supporters versus their districts?
Yes, I can post it. In fact, I have shown it before you join in. It's here. It is only for Pennsylvania, and I have another picture for all the districts,
Okay.
all the swing districts. It is for Pennsylvania.
Okay. All right, Lucas. So, what's your take on that state? Who do you
Oh,
think should be nominated?
maybe I have forgotten to show my screen, so maybe share screen.
In Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Well, it's a tough question. But I feel like regarding this whole progressive is more electable, I would disagree with it. I do think moderates tend to fare better. I know that in that graph you showed, for example, Jared Golden, for example, did support Medicare for All, but he campaigned very hard as a moderate in that district. He, for example, actually voted no against impeaching President Trump, and he did fare well in the district that Trump won by a lot. When we look at, for example, what's her name? Paula Jean Swearingen, right, in West Virginia, she got completely thumped over in the 2020 election, whereas in 2018, Joe Manchin defeated Patrick Morris. Of course, Joe Manchin does have that name recognition, but I feel like progressive being more electable in a red state, I wouldn't necessarily agree with that.
I
Colin Peterson, for his held out so long because he was that moderate candidate. Yeah, go ahead.
So I would actually add on to that, and I think it trends more on the specific person and what area they run in, which will sort of which will either upheld or that theory or not. So it's not exactly like one way or another. Like they are or aren't electable. But I
yes,
can clearly see your take.
I want to say that. In fact, I want to also show that question that in fact today the left or right axis is in fact somehow independent from Trump anti-Trump axis. So in fact, some people say, "Oh, this candidate is do not anti-Trump enough," it, which means he is more moderate. If we use that standard, sometimes it is the moderate candidates who are more radical in opposing Trump, and the progressive candidates are more sympathetic to Trump voters. I want to show a comparison of the launch video between Conor Lamb and John Fetterman, which clearly shows that. In fact, today, nowadays,
there's a lot of great towns
yes,
in
this is
Pennsylvania that people living there feel like they're
John Fetterman's video.
Right, I would agree with you. I think that John Fetterman's campaign video was a lot more of a populist approach for the people person, while Conor Lamb did run of a more anti-Trump campaign.
That's correct.
Okay. Real estate prices have dropped 50%.
All right.
The
So,
population has fallen from 20,000 to
AP, who do you think
You're encouraging
the Republicans should run in Pennsylvania?
But for people,
Wait, whoever has that noise, can you please
I
turn it
picked
down?
Braddock, 20 years ago because I wanted to work and fight against the inequality that I saw raging in this country.
Is this me?
Braddock was a marginalized,
No, it's his
fully
launch
abandoned
video.
community. But that's exactly where I wanted to spend my career.
Saturday wears Braddock on his sleeves.
Wait, I can still hear it. Wait.
Tattooed on one arm.
That's fine. No,
and
he's supposed to.
murders on the other.
The things that I learned, in Braddock is that every place matters. No place deserves to be written off. These
Yeah,
places
wait,
across Pennsylvania feel left behind. They don't feel part of the
So are
conversation.
you looking at this?
That's why Donald Trump went to these small counties and held these big rallies. We cannot afford to take any vote for granted. We cannot afford to take any place for granted. Whether we're in a place like Braddock or a place like Emporium in Cameron County, the smallest county in Pennsylvania. Talk is cheap, but for the last 20 years, I've been working to represent, rebuild, and to advance in these places.
As the community marks an important 5-year milestone, people are really starting to have hope.
Tomorrow will represent the 5th anniversary without a homicide in town.
U.S. Steel plans to invest $1 billion in its Mon Valley works and make them the most environmentally friendly in America.
History was made in the Democratic primary for lieutenant governor.
John Fetterman won the
RDP is gonna come back. Just hold on here.
Okay, I still hear the background noise.
It's not background noise. This is part of the stream to hear this campaign launch. All right, so as you can hear that, I think that's going to appeal well, and we're just going to wait for Lucas to rejoin the stream since.
I'm sorry. So, have you ever
that's no
seen
problem.
the video of John Fetterman that I have
Yes, I
posted?
saw that.
And I'll wait for him to rejoin, and I will show the launch video of Connor Lamb. And I will ask you several questions about it.
All right, AP, do you want to answer some of those? All right.
So do I need to wait for him?
No, you don't. You can just ask some questions and we'll just answer it.
But I want to let you to make a comparison of two videos. We have seen the Fetterman videos, which emphasize on why Trump won Pennsylvania and why should we be sympathetic to those voters who voted for Trump, and why he can and want to flip those former Democratic voters who vote Trump nowadays. How can he flip them back? This is John Fetterman's message. And what about Connor Lamb?
I'm Connor Lamb. I talk with Pennsylvanians every day who've come to believe that our democracy is in crisis. And they're right. The other side denies reality and worships Trump. They're making it harder to vote and lying about our elections. Well, I swore an oath to protect the Constitution as a Marine, as a prosecutor, and as a member of Congress, and I will keep that oath. So later today, I'm announcing my candidacy for the U.S. Senate. I believe this is the most important Senate seat in the country. We have to build on our majority and tell the truth about what's really going on in people's lives. We need to raise pay for working people, protect your retirement, and make sure you have health care when you need it. All of these issues are on the line next year, and our opponents will lie about them, just like they lie about elections. Donald Trump knows how important Pennsylvania is. He's come here to campaign against me 3 elections in a row, and each time, with your help, we've won. These are serious times, and we won't win this race on Twitter. We'll win it going town by town, talking to people, and listening. That starts today. We plan to visit a dozen counties in the next week alone. I hope you'll follow along at ConnorLamb.com. Our democracy was born in Pennsylvania, and I'm running because I believe Pennsylvania can save it.
All right, so you can hear the comparison between those two, and RDP's just having some technical problems, so I have to wait a bit more on him.
I think overall that was a pretty good ad, but yeah.
Yeah. Right, AP. Who should the other side run then?
I think Sean Parnell is probably the best candidate to run, but yeah.
So what do you think of the difference between two videos? What are they emphasizing or focusing on?
Yeah.
So can you say what do you think of this? What is John Fetterman focused on, or what does Connor Lamb focus on?
Oh, sorry. Okay. I think, yeah, John Fetterman is running a more populist campaign, and Connor Lamb is running a more, like, anti-Trump, but more, Connor Lamb is kind of like a Mark Kelly type candidate. So, yeah.
I think that's a good comparison, and I think they'll both appeal to sort of different areas, and it'll be interesting to see how that'll play out next year when they go against each other.
Yeah.
But you should know that Arizona and Pennsylvania are very different states. Pennsylvania, in fact, is a Trumpy state that was not a swing state before, but because of Trump, it became a swing or evenly red state.
Wait, hold
On
on.
the contrary, the Arizona is a state that used to be red, but because of people here hate Trump, it became swingy.
Wait, and just add on to that. It was already competitive long before he got here, but he did. It was the final sort of force that pushed it over the edge.
Yeah, Trump's rhetoric just hurt him in Arizona. Like,
No, Pennsylvania.
oh yeah, yeah that yeah. I think Biden, since he was from that state, and he had like different stances when he visited the state. I mean, yeah, Biden was good. Biden did good in swing states.
I think he was probably so his kind of style would maybe help in a state like Pennsylvania, but not Arizona.
Yeah.
So, all right, got a question right here. What do you guys think about this?
Charter schools, I think overall they're pretty good, but yeah.
And what do you think?
In fact, I think charter school is usually good because it can give the talented students a chance to get better education instead of wasting their their intelligence on the same education as other students. In fact, I also graduated uh, some schools that are similar to charter schools. Although when I was young, I was from China. So, but I think that that kind of education helps me a lot. However, I think the enrollment of charter school should be based on the scores, the academic ability instead of solely on money. If it just gives the rich better education, I do not like it.
Right. Nat, you can ask some more questions if you want about me, just about anything in the chat.
Should school invest in liberal arts? I think we should just stop politicizing everything, to be honest.
Yeah. No, I don't think liberal means in like politically, like liberal arts. You know what that is, right?
Like, just like liberal ways.
No, it means sort of an academic subject such as like literature, philosophy, mathematics, and science that isn't exactly professional or technical. Doesn't mean like politically liberal.
Oh, it isn't political. I think maybe, probably. College board monopoly.
Get with this.
I haven't been a YouTuber yet, in fact. I haven't posted any independent YouTube live or any YouTube videos. However, I want to do one, but have not done it yet. And he know me from Twitter. I mainly use Twitter to show my political ideas. So if you are interested in that, I also want to show my Twitter. My Twitter ID is this: FO4AFUTURE. This is my Twitter. Oh, I forgot to share the screen. I think you can see that from my screen. This is me on Twitter. So if you want to know me or know my political opinions, you can just and just read my Twitters.
So is it yours progressive is more electable?
I
Yeah, that's
think
what it is.
I think that
Okay.
in fact, I do not think it is applies everywhere. I strongly believe that a progressive is less electable in some states like Virginia, North Carolina, or Florida.
All right.
In fact,
Thank
I
you.
admit that.
Thank you for your take, and we'll see you back next time. All right. So, AP, do you have any other final words to say?
Not much,
Oh,
but yeah.
wait, and he's back. AP's back.
Yeah, am I late? All right, yeah.
So,
What?
do you
Wait,
have
are you
any?
Red Dot Projections?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, nice to meet you.
you too.
So, yeah, here's just me just sitting here, just decided to make a channel because I wanted to do it, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting idea you got there. It's like silly channel.
This guy says I'm his old, but he isn't.
If you guys were talking about Pennsylvania, I would say best Republican to run is Brian Fitzpatrick. I think he ran several points ahead of Trump in in his House race. I think like
He
moderate could have
ran
crossover
19
appeal.
points ahead.
19. Yeah, he has a lot of crossover appeal, I think.
I think he do well in sort of his area, but not well in some other parts of the state, if that makes sense.
Interesting. I think he would do pretty well in suburban areas that might have went to Biden that Trump didn't do so well in, like the way he did a lot better in his. Oh wait, I think my computer finally loaded. Let me come on my computer.
Oh. All right. Are you gonna just suddenly just vanish and then reappear later, or what's going on?
I'll reappear if my computer decides to work, but I think best Democratic candidate. I haven't looked into it super deeply. I don't believe in the progressive is more electable thought. Oh wait, I think it worked. Oh yes. Okay, hold on.
All right.
Yeah, because if you run like if you run a progressive like AOC, like you're not gonna win.
Yeah, in Pennsylvania, that's definitely probably the case. They would have.
Yeah, but I don't think John Fetterman, if he gets elected, I think that it'll be probably tilt Republican. He's just not that electable, and when he calls himself like a socialist, it's just like
he hasn't called himself that.
Oh, he hasn't.
Okay, so all right, so I think that sort of wraps up our first sort of stream, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.